Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are once again watching Astroteric TV with your one and only host, the Astro Guru. And it wouldn't be Astroteric TV without the gra. Now, today's topic of discussion is why everyone is getting sick. If you paid any attention to life at all, then you'll notice there's been a uptick in people coming down with colds or what we don't know what these new diseases and sicknesses are since we got introduced to COVID and its many variants. We don't know exactly what people are coming down with. And then you have medicinal companies, pharmaceutical companies, they really can't help you right now because they're highly understaffed. A lot of America ran out of money and doesn't have jobs, so a lot of people don't have health care. Thus, we are about to get into it. So, before we get into why everyone is getting sick, let's explain what's happening within our rock on this third rock from the sun. So, here we have it. COVID's been introduced. 5G has been introduced. People are breaking records and making advancements in society. And things that are not worthy are falling to the wayside. People are being exposed, exploited, and all kinds of crazy things. But it rains hardest before the sun shines. And there will be casualties in war, in which we know we are in a spiritual warfare every day. So, what happened is with 5G and COVID and the advancement of the human being, we have decided, well, we didn't decide, but God has decided that it is now time for us to move from 3D to the 5D. For anyone that doesn't understand what the D means, it's the dimension. I have a video on dimensions, and that'll explain how dimensions work and what they are. But we're going from 3D to 5D. So now, 5D, just like anything, guess what? It's like school. If you go from third grade to the fifth grade, there's things that you will not know in the fifth grade unless you're just that smart, that advanced, unless you know you've read ahead and taught yourself. There are things that are not allowed in 5D that are allowed in 3D. Like, remember they used to let you use a calculator, but then once you got to a certain level, they wouldn't let you use the calculator no more. You had to use scratch paper. You had to show how you, in your head, got the answer. So that's what the 5D is now. 5D, I'm going to explain 5D to you. It's a lot more beautiful than the world we've been living in. So, on the 5D plane, there are no wars. War is obsolete because people are harmonious, and yeah, we have individual tiffs, but as far as putting a militia together to blow each other up and shoot each other, it's not allowed on 5D. Elves are not allowed on 5D. The elves, the gnomes, the fairies, they're not allowed on 5D. An elf is an extra low frequency, in case you didn't know that. But that's why they're like super short elves. That's why we have dwarves and midgets and things in the real world. Well, I don't mean to use the M word, but pardon my language. So we have dwarves, little people. So now, there are no extra low frequencies. There will be no elf on the shelf in 5D. Another thing that is not tolerated on 5D is extremely weird behavior. And what I mean by extremely weird behavior is hanging out with somebody and then talking about them behind their back. The universe is confused, like, do you like the person or not? So on 5D, the universe has had it to where they've set the settings to where you only hang around people that you like. You go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. I know you've been hearing that as of lately. So what's in its entirety, what's happening is you have the gap widening between good and evil. Good has decided to make a comeback and it's pushing evil to the back. So where we were in our yin, we'll now be in our yang. Where we were in our yang, we'll now be in our yin. That's how that happens. That's how the pendulum swings. That's how the roller coaster of life goes. That's why there's times where it seems like everybody on the earth was doing great, eating fruits and vegetables and fornicating and buying houses. And then you have the Great Depression. Then you have, Holocaust and genocides and slavery and things like that. So the earth in itself is a being. It's a balanced being, though. It understands what it needs to do and when it needs to do it. So, as we're here in 3D, that's why it seems like everybody's been going through all of this pain. Because the people who separate themselves from the pain by attuning into love, they'll be able to exist in 5D. For those who have not, what will happen is, for those who've been living their lives completely, one-sided, for the stealers, the takers, the thieves, the movers and the shakers and the dealers, and yes, the underground world. For the underground world, you will now be presented with your own world. And that's only for the survivors. Because don't forget, this video is about why everyone is getting sick. So, just as when you get sick, you take some type of medicine or you do some type of regimen, you follow some type of regimen, or you find a remedy to kill the sickness. The earth is doing the same exact thing. It has decided 8 billion people, and it's a lot of y'all that's not even really, y'all got here, but y'all not supposed to be here. I don't want you around my people. So what's happening is, it's not just the food. It's not just the water. It's not just the drugs. Because those things are more parasitic, but they need a host. That's why it's you that does them. Now, because of that, what we know a lot of people who do drugs and things latch onto is pain. They harbor pain and resentment and hatred and bad energy. That won't be allowed on 5D. You have to love yourself as a human being, as a god, as a king, whatever you like to call yourself. You have to be at one with yourself on 5D. And not only that, you can't take the evil with you. So you have to either purge the evil from your body like a sickness in order to exist in 5D, or you cease to exist. So why everyone has been getting sick is because they haven't been eating right. They haven't been working out. They haven't been praying. They haven't been doing self-reflection. There's a list of things that they haven't been doing. Too much fornication. You keep letting everybody else's fluids into your temple. Now you just got murky and muddy waters running through you. You understand? But why everyone's getting sick is because you've been harboring and holding in this bad energy and you've been feeding it. And now that we're here, the system is breaking down. Or at least it's breaking you down because you got too much that's not allowed in the 5D. So it's trying its best to break you down to allow you in the 5D. However, after being broken down so much, you cease to exist. Thus, death may be upon you. So if you haven't repented for all your wrongdoings, people think that you just like repent right before you die. But we have deaths and rebirths all the time, which is also why it's imperative that you focus on staying positive so you can kill more and more of the negativity inside you. Because if you just keep jumping from back and forth, you're just exercising both and graduating in both, which is not a problem. It's only a problem when your brain doesn't critically think before it acts. And now you've been to war and you've learned all of these tactics and everything, but your mind is no good. So you do something erratic to the wrong person. So you believe a bunch of lies before you believe the truth, because the truth is just, it's not juicy enough for you. It's boring. What? You asleep? Nah, I think you was cheating on me. That's how that works. And the devil has decided that he's going to take as many people as he can before it hits the fan, because he actually knows how this story's going to go. Man doesn't. So, the people that took vaccines, I know you see a lot of them. There will be ones that make it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they just won't. But if you was like, you know, at a really low level and took the vaccine and did nothing to help your body cope with what was going on around you, you developed lung problems, heart problems, kidney problems. For those who just keep drinking all of this lean and everything, you know, kidney problems. For those who just keep popping Percocets and everything, you know, bone and back problems and stuff. But I digress. Once 5D is fully in effect, which should probably be about 2025. Once it's fully in effect, as you see, people are going away now. And, you know, rest in peace to all of the ones that we lost. But in case y'all didn't realize, we live this thing called life. And whether you know it or not, people die every single day. Not saying it's to be looked over, but I'm sure you want me to send my condolence when your family member dies, but guess how many family members died that we didn't send our condolences to because we don't even know them. We don't even know how. But that's why you have philanthropic people and humanitarians that go around funding people with GoFundMes and funerals and things like that. And, you know, you have people that give back because we understand this. It's not just all about us. We do this for the people that are going to come in the future, for the children. That's why we pass this knowledge on. So hopefully you don't have to go through what I went through. People will steal from you. They will steal what's rightfully yours. Sign your name on documents. Tell you they love you. Playing both sides. And expect you to just sit back and take it because you're a positive person. Meanwhile, they don't understand. There's this thing called the powers that be. God and his angels that protect those who feel the need to not protect themselves. Because what you don't understand about a positive person is they might really want to do something to you. The only thing stopping them is when they think in their head, was it a lie when I said I love this person? I told this person I loved them so many times. For me to take their life from them would be like asinine, because then I wouldn't be able to live with myself as a person. And we're not making it off of this rock. We all going anyway. So I'll just await my time. I'll let you have your time. You're going to suffer in it though. And it's not because of me. You can't blame God. I wish you would try that. I wish you would try that. He had a will, but he also gave you your own. He wasn't being selfish. He said, hey, here go your will. If you look and see what I'm doing with mine, you might be able to know what you're doing with yours. But you didn't. You was like, free will? Oh man, I'm riding this free will everywhere. Then you had that accident. You crashed. And you had no more will. You couldn't keep going. And you gave up. That's what happened. I will never stop. I keep the fire burning. The fire that is inside this pit of my stomach, I keep it hot. Always ready for whatever. Whether I need to fight back with the gospel, whether I need to protect myself, whether I need to shine light on a situation, whether I need to show love to a child, to an unhealed adult, I keep that fire burning. Because the devil is 24/7. He's not going to stop. But what made me is more powerful than him. So why would I let him win? Gotta do better. Separation is elevation. Stop hanging out with everybody. That's too much. I call it outfluence. That's too much outfluence because it's not coming from inside you. You're not influencing yourself. I aspire, which means what I do inspires. I don't get inspired by another being. I can be. It's not that it's not a possibility. But when you sit with yourself and you find yourself, you will only bring your ideas to life. No one else's. You won't be out here stealing YouTube videos, trying to repost them and get money somewhere else. You won't be out here doing these things that you feel like you're making an accomplishment. No. You have what we call movement. That's not progress. You're just moving. We've all seen a hamster on a wheel. You've gone nowhere. And I don't wish death on anybody. But your life was at one point worth having. Understand me. Your life was at one point worth having. There were smiles. There was love to be given. Every night wasn't a drunk night. Being depressed about your problems and everything that you did. You did it. Don't blame anyone else. So, you see everyone getting sick because of what they harbor inside of them. Now organs are shutting down and failing. And now you got, people becoming more and more crippled by the day. They just wonder, well, I don't know. I woke up and my foot, this something wasn't right. And, he got gangrene. And this person, they asthma acting up 24/7. And, I thought I had a handle on my asthma. What's going on? Yes, that's what's going on. They told you about the Black Plague. They told you about God taking everyone's firstborn. They told you about the 40-day flood. They did not tell you what to expect right now. And where they did tell you it at, you refused to read the Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Oh, man. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. The Bible. They told you this there. Am I an avid reader of the Bible? No. I'm just a critical thinker who doesn't mind opening a book. So there's plenty of information I have from the Bible. I will not weaponize it and try to use it to make you feel ashamed about your life and to judge you. But I will utilize it to its advantage. To find out why there's so much desperation and just debauchery on this planet of ours when it doesn't have to be. If one man, me by myself, can figure out a way for us to all slow down, for the masses, because we're all never going to do the same thing, but for the masses to just slow down, put a little more time into ourselves so that we can, advance forward comfortably without bringing harm to anyone else, without being greedy, spiteful, vindictive, devilish. And now, if I can do that, why can't everyone else sit down long enough to come to the same conclusion? Too much partying and pain. Too many people not knowing themselves. Too many people not sitting down and haven't taken the time to talk to God. So, to conclude this video, I will just say, health is wealth. Take care of yourself, because in the coming days, a lot of human beings are going to perish. Where I once seen a lot of death on my timeline, and it made me extremely sad and depressed, because I just felt like, why I keep seeing people dying everywhere I go. And I thought one day something would just happen to me and I would no longer exist at the tender age of maybe 30. But I was enlightened by the Most High. There's a cleansing going on. He is purging the earth. Those who know, sitting back with our feet up smiling because of all the pain and that we went through in the before years. All the people that was running around happy, doing whatever they wanted to do. You see the Diddy situation. They're now under the knife. They will now experience hellfire in the court of public opinion, if nowhere else. But I just want y'all to think about that. Maybe I'm just some conspiracy theorist. Maybe I'm just some skeptic who just comes up with these things out of nowhere. Maybe I'm an earth angel and I get direct messages from God. But how would you know? How would I prove that to you? You figure it out. I don't teach anyone. I simply ask them to think for themselves. Till next time.